Hello, my name is Mark Pimentel. I'm one of the CAM application specialists here at Hawkridge Systems, and in this video, we'll be talking about editing and locking toolpaths. SolidWorks CAM and CAMWorks provide us very common toolpaths when we generate our operations. The movements of the tool are controlled by those toolpaths, and there isn't really much need for deviation unless you're in certain scenarios where the toolpath needs to be tweaked just slightly to avoid a collision or many other reasons that might pop up. So for that reason, we have the Edit Toolpath functionality within SolidWorks CAM and CAMWorks. Let's take a look at this example on screen here. This piece of sheet metal already has the folds already on it, but I still need to drill that hole and machine that old brown pocket. And you can see from this top view that the overhang overlaps with those features. So what I need to do here is use some tooling that allows me to get under that underhang. So if we take a look at my tools here, I have a keyway tool that has just enough of a neck that I can get under there and machine that slot or that old brown pocket. And I have this drill that has been designed with a reduced neck as well, so that if I do get under that overhang, I can drill that hole. So all I need now is to modify my toolpath so that it does not collide with that overhang. If we take a look at a simulation of this operation, it's the entry that causes the gouge. There's no room for this thing to really just plunge in and then machine the pocket. After that, I'm clear. I can machine that pocket and I'm no longer colliding with that overhang. So it's just the entry I need to correct for both operations. What we can do here is if I click the plus sign next to the operation, I can see that the feature that's driving that operation. If I right click on that feature, I get access to the Edit Toolpath command. What this does is it shows me all the movements within that toolpath itself. You can see the very first rapid move and all the other feed moves afterwards. I'm going to modify the toolpath using that command. But what I first want to do is get the toolpath itself to where I want it to be. I'm going to right click on my operation and I'm just going to reduce the rapid plane starting from this point here. This is actually where it's causing the collision. So I'm going to set this to top of feature and just 100 thou from the top of the feature, or in this case the top edge of the old brown pocket. And then my clearance plane, I'll just make that a little less than that so that I get this toolpath right here. It's at this point that I need to edit the toolpath for the beginning and the ending of the toolpath so that as it enters and retracts, it does not gouge that overhang. So I'm just going to go back to the Edit Toolpath, right click on the very first rapid move, and I'm going to insert a new rapid move right before it. I'll copy over all the coordinates and I'm going to just add 1 inch in X and 1 inch in Z. So that gives me a very first rapid move. And if I leave this as is, that might actually work, but I want to be a little safer. I want to rapid down a little bit after that. So what I'll do now is I will insert again a rapid move. I'll copy over all those coordinates and I'll put this before that one as well. And I'm going to use just an plus X on this, using the same Z coordinate, and you can see now I've added a rapid point to there. So essentially now I've added 2 new rapid moves so that we start the toolpath at this point, rapid down to this point, and then rapid in there. Now that could be a rapid move, that could be a feed move. It's all a matter of what the user prefers. But this will now give me an entrance that goes underneath the underhang, continues the toolpath, and you can see that when I go to modify this, it asks me, do I want to lock that toolpath? Basically, changing the color of the toolpath, that allows me now to leave that cemented in there, locked in. If I do a regeneration to the part file, it will not change that. Now, I also want to make sure that I have a exit out of that operation as well that follows that same path. So actually, I can just right click on the toolpath again. Since it's been locked, I have to unlock it. And now I have access to it once again. So I'll just right click, Edit Toolpath, and I'm going to go down to the bottom here, and I'm going to add rapid moves that allow it to go the other way. So I will just right click on the very final rapid move. Another rapid move can be added. Rapid after, I'll copy over all my coordinates, and I'll basically just reverse what I did. So from the final point of the toolpath where you see on screen, I'll just add an X move to that point there. and then I'll right click again, rapid move, after, and I'll use the same X coordinate, but I'm going to add a Z coordinate here just to return it to where it was. Once I click close again, it'll ask me if I want to relock that toolpath. I'll say yes. The color change indicates that it has been locked. If there is a regeneration to the part, this toolpath will stay as is. So we are making a manual edit to the toolpath, but the trade-off is that we no longer have that level of associativity. But that's kind of the point here. We're trying to make sure that we don't follow the automation with this specific toolpath here for reasons that are scenario-based. This part needs me to move in that direction for this particular toolpath. If I go to my CAMWorks configuration here, we can see the final version of this part where I have done the same for the drill as well as my contour mill. If I do a simulation here, we can see that with the tool, it rapids down, feeds in, I've cleared that overhang, and now I can just drill that hole. Likewise with the contour mill. Rapids down, rapids in, that's under the overhang there, and I can proceed to do my toolpath, wrap it out, and wrap it up. So editing and locking toolpath is your way of making a further edit and a manual change to the toolpath itself. It is much more of a scenario-based, case-by-case sort of thing, but it could be a useful tool when you've tried all the other options within the software, and you just need to make that one tweak to avoid a collision or for safety reasons. Any questions on this or anything else, give us a call on the phone number found on our website, and stay tuned for the rest of the videos on our YouTube channels. Thanks for watching.